More than 4,000 delegates in Ottawa, Canada, are negotiating the world's first treaty to try and address plastic pollution. Officials are outlining an international agreement that could end this environmental issue. If passed, the treaty is being described as the biggest environmental pact since the 2015 Paris Agreement. The United Nations says that the world dumps the equivalent of more than 2,000 garbage trucks full of plastic into the water every day. Now, this phase of negotiations will wrap up next week, with South Korea set to host another round in December. CBS News national environmental correspondent David Schechter is here to explain exactly what they're trying to accomplish and how it could potentially impact our world. So, David, given just how tremendous the plastic pollution problem is, what exactly is the objective of this treaty?
Nice to be with you. Plastic pollution is a monumental problem around the world on land and in the water. And despite claims that it can be recycled, less than 9% of plastic actually is recycled globally. On top of that, plastic is derived from fossil fuels and accounts for some 5% of our climate emissions, getting as high as 20% by 2050. So a big issue here.
All right. Well, tell us where the United States stands on this particular problem. And is it possible to completely ban single-use plastics?
Well, a treaty would address plastics through their entire life cycle, from when they're produced to how they're used and then how they're disposed of. But many countries want to end the production of plastic pollution by 2040. To do that, they are suggesting production caps, a phase out of single-use plastics, and a ban on some chemical additives to plastics that are harmful to public health. On the other hand, though, countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, China, they want no or limited restrictions and support recycling techniques that opponents argue are harmful to the environment and to human health.
And David, so often we watch the negotiations, the progress, and then these happy announcements,
Sure.
and then find that there's no enforcement mechanism. Is there one that would potentially exist in this to make sure that people or nations actually do meet those benchmarks?
I think what's interesting about this particular set of negotiations is that they would be legally binding. In previous climate negotiations, things like the 2015 landmark Paris Accord, which are sort of voluntary, they set benchmarks, but there are no enforcement mechanisms. This would be a legally binding treaty, which would be a significant accomplishment for sure across the globe.
And David, in a lot of people's minds, the problem has already progressed so far. Even the statistics about how many dump trucks worth of plastic are released into our waterways make many people feel like it's too late to reel this back in. How are the folks in Ottawa addressing that particular complaint?
I think that those nations and I think hopefully many people around the world come to this with a sense of optimism that the problems that we face related to plastic, the problems we face related to climate change are huge and they're very complicated. But the fact that they are sitting down at the table with people that have a wide variety of views on this particular issue and hammering out an agreement, I think can be taken as a hopeful sign. Frankly, at the end of the day, when these things are negotiated, they are compromises, right? Not everybody gets what they want. But if by, I believe it's next Monday when this concludes, they'll have hopefully some kind of framework that by December they can take to a final vote. We'll see how strong that is, but I think there's reason for optimism here.
All right, David Schechter on Climate Watch. Thanks, David.
Thank you.